You found yourself on another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. On today's episode, scary hours in Cleveland as Terry Rozier stuns the Cavaliers, and the Kings are getting hot at the right time as they wipe the Raptors off the floor. We got a lot to talk about on Let 'Em Know Kings United. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let 'em know, Nation, you already know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, your Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and Chicago Bulls post-game reaction podcast. I am your host, Carlo Weisberg. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to today's program. And you can find Let 'em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on your favorite podcast app like Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, and all that good stuff. You can also find this show on my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. If you are watching this show on YouTube, do me a solid favor. Hit the like button on the video, hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you know when the next time Let 'Em Know Kings United goes live, and leave a positive comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can, please. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate and spread the word out to your friends. Give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to the show on. It is an amazing way to support the podcast, and I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to today's program. Well, it is officially scary hours here on Let 'Em Know Kings United. There was a positive or negative part of the scary hours, and there was a positive part of the scary hours. Normally, I get to the negative first before I get to the positive, so let's roll with the negative. And the negative part of the scary hours was the Cleveland Cavaliers losing at home to the Miami Heat 107-104, and the man they call Scary Terry, Terry Rozier, shocked and stunned the Cleveland Cavaliers with a go-ahead three with 14 seconds left and one because Isaac Okoro fouled him in the middle of Terry Rozier getting his release point. He made the shot, he got an and one, and that ultimately led to the Miami Heat getting a win. With this win, the Miami Heat pull within one half game of the Philadelphia 76ers for the sixth and final automatic playoff berth in the Eastern Conference. This was a statement win for the Miami Heat, and a big one at that, because coming into this game, the Miami Heat, They were a good team, but at the same time, the Heat are kind of average to me. Average because they haven't beat a top-seeded or a really good-seeded team all year this season. And with this win against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the number 3 seed in the East, by the way, that is a statement win for Miami. And by the way, Terry Rozier was an absolute masterclass in this game. Jimmy Butler, the Cleveland, Ohio native out of Youngstown, Ohio, more specifically, that was Terry Rozier. I'm sorry. The Ohio native Scary Terry finished with 24 points, and Jimmy Butler, in his first game back from injury, dropped 30 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Eric Spoelstra loved when the Miami Heat traded for Scary Terry, and boy did he deliver again. He said, "This is why we went after Terry. In a trade with Charlotte on January 23rd, we wanted to have another guy who can make something happen in late games. He's always been that kind of player in big moments with Charlotte, and of course, he was a Boston Celtic a long time ago." Jimmy Butler said Terry put on a show. Basketball is supposed to be fun with him, and doing it somewhat at his crib in front of his people was something. He told the entire state of Ohio, hey man, listen, I know I'm from Ohio my state, Youngstown, Cleveland my city, but I gotta do it to you. I gotta hurt you, Cleveland. I gotta hurt you, Cavaliers. I'm with the Miami Heat. I'm with the Heat culture. I need to make a statement, and that is exactly what Terry Rozier did, and the Miami Heat got a big-time statement win. As far as the Cleveland Cavaliers, if this loss doesn't prove that the Cleveland Cavaliers are absolute frauds, I don't know what to tell you. I really do not know what to tell you, because once again, they were without Donovan Mitchell. They were without Evan Mobley. They were without former Miami Heat player Max Strus. And because of this, the Cleveland Cavaliers are now losing 3 straight games at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're supposed to be good at home, right? You're supposed to protect the crib, and you couldn't do that? Like, come on now. Come on now. I get the Cleveland Cavaliers are the number 3 seed in the East, but come on. Come on now. Come on now. You cannot lose in that particular fashion. You really cannot. Even though I admire Jared Allen with his 25 points and 20 rebound performance. And Darius Garland had 20 points. He had a solid night. Karis LeVert also had a solid night with 16 points and 12 assists. And George Niang absolutely went off, scoring 10 of his 18 points in the fourth quarter. But my God, absolutely my God, the Cleveland Cavaliers got exposed on the defensive end, because how many times did the Cavaliers attempt to ice ball screens trying to keep Jimmy Butler to the sideline? And how many times did we allow Jimmy Butler to get into the corner? Instead of playing up on him, we ran drop coverage on Jimmy Butler all freaking night. And unfortunately, Jimmy Butler burned us with his 30 points. And not only that, Isaac Okoro, you costed us this game, bro. You costed us this game. Fouling on Terry Rozier on a 3-point make? You can't do that in that situation. There was 14 seconds left at the time of the foul. If you just went straight up and not fouled him, regardless of what happened, then I would be okay with that. If he made that 3 with no foul call, I would respect that. But you fouled a guy who absolutely was cooking for the Miami Heat and Terry Rozier. You fouled a guy with 14 seconds left in the game, and you allowed him to take a 3 to win the game. I mean, that is bad. That is just straight up bad. And I know it was a tough loss for Cleveland. I know it's probably not going to affect them as far as the seeding goes, but that's just a bad look. That is really a bad look. Isaac Okoro costed us this game, and the inability to learn how to ice a ball screen, the inability for Jared Allen to get up and help one of your defenders keep Jimmy Butler to the sideline. Darius Garland did a really good job of getting him backside help multiple times. But my God, we are the worst team in the NBA when it comes to icing the ball screen. Maybe we need to work on this in the playoffs. Maybe we need to watch how the New York Knicks play defense, because as of right now, the New York Knicks to me are sleepers in the Eastern Conference. Why? Because they play the best defense out of everybody in the Eastern Conference. I don't give a damn about Boston. I don't give a damn about Milwaukee. They're obviously going to be 1 and 2. But if you're talking about sleeper, if you're talking about a team that's going to go deep in the playoffs, I am more confident in the New York Knicks to go deep in the playoffs because of their defense. As far as the Cleveland Cavaliers go, I don't see it. I really do not see it. If we don't have Max Strus, Evan Mobley, or Donovan Mitchell back before playoff time, we ain't gonna get past the first round. I hate to tell everybody the truth. I just really hate that three of our starters got hurt, and it's in a bad time. Jamie Bickerstaff after the game said all are closer, but I can't give you any projected timetable. That ain't good. That ain't good. Let me tell you why. The more time that Strus, Mobley, and Spider stay on the sideline, I believe the more opportunity the New York Knicks gonna have to snatch the number 3 seed in the East, and they will maybe fall the Cleveland Cavaliers into 4. Don't call it speaking into the future. That's just my opinion. But what I do know is we need to learn how to play defense. We need to learn how to be better at icing a ball screen. We need to learn how to be disciplined. Isaac Okoro, I put that on you for fouling Terry Rozier. Like, come on. If you don't foul him, if he makes the shot, fine. If he misses the shot, that's fine because you had an opportunity to get the rebound. But I feel so bad for Jared Allen. I feel so bad for him. He had a 20-point, 20-rebound game. He played his heart out, and I give him credit for that. But unfortunately, you have a guy in Isaac Okoro that costed the Cleveland Cavaliers the game with fouling Jimmy Butler, and defensively, I thought the Cleveland Cavaliers were terrible. We're terrible on the defensive end, not getting in the gaps, allowing Jimmy Butler to turn the corner, playing constant drop coverage on Jimmy Butler, not guarding Terry Rozier, leaving the shooters wide open. The Cavaliers did not go over the game plan. I think they had no game plan at all. I believe the game plan for Cleveland was to leave Jimmy Butler, Jovic, Patty Mills, and Terry Rozier open for threes and allow Miami to burn them. Maybe that's what happened. I think J.B. Bickerstaff and the coaching staff need to wake the hell up. They need to wake the hell up and learn how to get in a better game plan. Rozier said, my teammates and my coaches kept reminding me who I am. They told me to just keep shooting, knowing my guys believe me meant a lot. Rozier shot 28% on his three-pointers in his first 21 games with Miami, but made 5 out of 6 in his Ohio homecoming. And Bam Adebayo did not play this game. And I found that most impressive because Bam Adebayo was out of this game due to a lower back contusion. Duncan Robinson, the Miami Heat's best shooter, was out due to back discomfort for this game. Adebayo said, Coach told me it was time to take a game off. It was more maintenance than anything else, and I admire Eric Spoelstra for that. You need your captain in order to make the playoffs or get into the playoffs for that matter. But it was a good statement win for Miami. I'll give them that. Good statement win for Miami. Tough loss for the Cavs, but don't be surprised if the Cleveland Cavaliers fall back to the 4th seed, maybe 5. As long as Mitchell, Garland, and Mitchell, Mobley, and Strus remain out. The Heat shot 46% for the field, 36% from 3. Cavs, 47% for the field, 36% from 3. Rebounds were 37 apiece. The assists were 30-19 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The steals were 7-3 Miami, blocks 2 shots apiece. The fast break points were 6-4. Points in the paint were 38-36, both in favor of the Miami Heat. As for the Heat, Jimmy Butler led the team in scoring with 30 points. He also had 5 assists, 4 steals, 11-19 for the field with 4 rebounds. Scary Terry came back to Ohio and simply cooked the Cavs all night with 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. He also was shooting 5 of 6 from 3, 8 of 16 from the field. Thomas Bryant got the start for Bam Adebayo. He finished with 6. Nikola Jovic was pretty solid, 14 points with 6 rebounds and an assist. Patty Mills contributed 10 points on the night with 4 assists and 2 big-time steals. As far as the Cleveland Cavaliers, you can't blame Jared Allen for this loss, not at all. 25 points, 20 rebounds, 3 assists. He did a really good job for most of the night, shooting 10 of 13 for the field. Isaac Okoro with 7 points, but that costly foul to send Terry Rozier to the line and potentially win the game. Like, come on, Isaac Okoro. You got to be more disciplined than that. Darius Garland held his own with 20 points. Karis LeVert with 16 points. Sam Merrill doing what he does best, shooting nothing but threes. 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field and from the three-point range. Good statement win for Miami. This is a gut breaker for the Cavs. It is a heart-wrencher for Cleveland, but at this point, you got to be better than that. It's playoff time, and I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are not ready for the playoffs. They're not ready to get past the first round. That's just me being perfectly honest. But coming up next, the Sacramento Kings are clicking at the right time, and they played their most dominant, their most complete game of the season in Toronto. We're going to break down the Kings win against the Raptors when Let 'Em Know Kings United comes right back. Welcome back to Let 'Em Know Kings United. The Sacramento Kings were coming into Toronto facing a shorthanded, injury-deflated team. We've seen this movie before, right? We've seen this movie before. Normally when that happens, the Sacramento Kings play down to their competition and they play their worst basketball of the season and they get absolutely embarrassed against shorthanded, injury-deflated teams. Last night, however, in Toronto, they proved me wrong. They flipped the script and they played their most dominant, their most impressive, their most complete game of the season, beating the Raptors 123-89 in Toronto, Canada, in the first night of a back-to-back. And the best part of this is Domantas Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox, Keon Ellis, the rest of the starting lineup didn't even have to do much. Domantas Sabonis played fewer than 28 minutes. The only guy that played 30 minutes or more in this game is Keegan Murray. Anytime you get a win like that and you rest your starters, especially on the first night of the back-to-back, it feels pretty damn good. And it felt really, really good seeing the Sacramento Kings play this way. I thought from the second quarter on, we took over and we finished the game in the third quarter. The beam was already lit before the fourth quarter. I already knew that this game was going to be a foregone conclusion. I knew that Toronto was going to be completely shorthanded with no Scotty Barnes, with no Emmanuel Quickley, with no Jakob Poeltl, just to name a few injuries. But damn, I didn't expect guys like De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, who is absolutely nasty, 6th Man of the Year candidate, show some respect, or confirmed 6th Man of the Year for that matter. Keegan Murray to go absolutely crazy. Keon Ellis to impact the game on both ends, more particularly on the defensive end. Harrison Barnes, who had a sneaky good performance in this game. But the guy who stood out once again is Domantas Sabonis. Or wait. Let me do that one more time. Oh, Domantas Sabonis. Oh, Domantas Sabonis. There we go. Every time I talk about his name, I got to do the chant because this man is just absolutely unfreaking believable. 13 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists. His NBA leading 24th triple-double of the season. And he recorded his 51st consecutive double-double, matching Moses Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the 14th longest streak in NBA history. Kevin Love, you better watch out, boy. You better watch out because Domantas Sabonis will likely, and this might be a fact, he will break your double-double streak record because what this man does on a nightly basis is just absolutely unreal. It's unreal. It's almost like watching a unicorn being absolutely talented in the game of basketball. Domas is just on another freaking level right now. He's on another freaking level. He might be MVP worthy. He might be starting to be in the MVP conversation. But you know who isn't? You know who isn't? Devin Booker, Karl Towns, Paul George, the guys that got named All-Stars over Domantas Sabonis. But you know what? Who gives a damn anymore? Who gives a you-know-what about Domantas Sabonis not being an All-Star? Because he used that as fuel. And look at him. He just straight up cooks every single night. And Harrison Barnes took notice. What Domas does for us every single night is impressive. To be able to be a force, go to the glass, facilitate the way he does, score the way he does, draw the attention that defenses put towards him, it's something that you always have to bring attention to. His continued strong play is definitely all NBA worthy. You're damn right he's all NBA worthy. But sorry, Harrison Barnes, I agree. I gotta agree with Mike Brown. Domantas Sabonis should be in the MVP conversation. Mike Brown said about Domas, it's a shame, but that's who he is. He's a walking triple-double machine. I say it's a shame because it should be celebrated a ton, but that's what he does. When he doesn't get a triple-double, you expect a double-double. He's getting one of the two, and that's why you should be in the conversation for MVP. That's just straight facts. That is just straight-up facts, because what Domantas Sabonis does on a nightly basis is absolutely incredible. When was the last time that you saw a player got either a double-double or a triple-double in a game? Or when was the last time you saw somebody get it 51 straight times? Name me one person that could do that right now. Name me one person in today's NBA that could do that. If it was Kevin Love years ago, then I would have said Kevin Love years ago. But right now, in the modern era, in the NBA, in the 2023-2024 season, when was the last time you saw a guy get a double-double 51 straight times and a double-double 24 times? The 24 triple-doubles, it's definitely got to be Jokic. But 51 straight double-doubles in today's NBA, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane, and that is absolutely nuts. What Domantas Sabonis does on a nightly basis is absolutely insane. It is absolutely outworldly, and quite frankly, he should be appreciated. He should be respected as an MVP candidate. If he's not in the MVP conversation by the time this podcast airs, I am definitely going to lose my bollocks. I am going to lose my mind if Domas is not in the MVP conversation. Malik Monk, 6th man of the year, 17 points. And Barnes added 16 as the Kings won their second straight and 4th out of 5. And they are clicking at the right time. The offense is back to the offense of last year. The defense has stepped up in the last few games for the Sacramento Kings. Chris Duarte actually got involved. 14 points. And Keegan Murray had 10 for the Kings, whose biggest lead at one point was 38 points. The Sacramento Kings didn't even have to do much. The Sacramento Kings didn't need to do much in the fourth quarter, because by the time they outscored the Toronto Raptors 60-30 in the second and third quarter combined, they automatically switched off. They automatically switched off and allowed their guys to get in some work. I mean, I saw JaVale McGee put a two-hand dunk, and you know what, Malik Monk? I gotta get at you for this, bro. How dare you put a thumbs down on JaVale McGee? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. If there's one negative that I gotta take away from this, it's Malik Monk putting the thumbs down on JaVale McGee on a two-handed dunk. I mean, I know it was all fun. I know it was all good. I know it was a blowout win, but Malik Monk, you better stop it. You better stop it right now, because if JaVale McGee put a posterize on that man, you might probably think different. But you know what? It was a 38-point blowout. It was the most complete win that Sacramento has all year. You could get away with it, and I have a damn feeling that the Sacramento Kings are going to do it again, because they are facing a Washington Wizards team that is completely shorthanded. That is completely the worst team in the league. Like I said, you are entering trap game territory for at least 2 more games. The Washington one, and then the Philadelphia 76ers one. You get those 2 games, then you go into Dallas. Now, the Dallas Mavericks game and the Golden One Center, 2 games, as a matter of fact, are going to be absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. A lot is on the line for the Sacramento Kings against the Dallas Mavericks. If you go to Washington and you take care of business, then you come back to the Golden One Center and take care of Philadelphia, who look absolutely lethargic without Joel Embiid, then the Dallas Mavericks, Sacramento Kings, 2 games in a row or mini playoff series is going to be insane, because you talk about a matchup. Wait, can we get to the Golden One Center? I mean, you talking about Luka Doncic versus De'Aaron Fox, Daniel Gafford versus Domantas Sabonis. And you can also put Luka versus Keegan, Kyrie Irving versus Keon Ellis, especially on the defensive end. Woo! I'm excited to get to the Golden One Center and watch the Sacramento Kings take on the Dallas Mavericks. It's going to be awesome. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on standing on business against the Washington Wizards. You bring that energy to Washington, we're going to be all right. 51% for the field. The Kings dominated almost every single stat. They out-rebounded the Toronto Raptors 53-31. The assists, 32-21. Points in the paint, 68-38. They could have dropped 70 points in the paint if they had to. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the stats. I'm not going to waste your time with that, because there's no point of talking about stats when the Sacramento Kings dominated like that. De'Aaron Fox, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Is Keon Ellis, who was an absolute pest on the defensive end, 6 points, 4 steals. 1 block, absolutely outstanding for him. Malik Monk, 6th man of the damn year. He had 18 points in this game. 18 points for the 6th man of the year, which is Malik Monk. Or 17 points with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 6 of 12 from the field. Davion Mitchell had a good impact in this game. He also had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Domas, you already know what he does. Mr. Double-Double, Mr. Triple-Double, Mr. All-NBA, Mr. MVP. Yeah, that's right, I said it. I think Domas should be in the MVP conversation. 13 points, 10 assists, 17 rebounds, 51 straight double-doubles, 24 trip-dub. Whoo! Domas, I need you to continue to be absolutely dominant. I mean, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Continue to be dominant, and everything's going to be all right. Gary Trent Jr. led the Toronto Raptors with 18 points. But what's the freaking point of talking about the Toronto Raptors? Because the Sacramento Kings, they finally got a win that made me feel good. It was rocky in the first quarter, I'm not going to lie. The first quarter was absolutely stagnant, but once they settled down for the second and third quarter on, they completely took over. They snatched the throat of the Toronto Raptors. They took care of business and did what they were supposed to do. Let's have an encore performance against the Washington Wizards, please. Bring that same energy to Washington and take care of the Wizards like you did Toronto. That's going to do it for today's edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. You can find this show, which is free and available on your favorite podcast app like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff, as well as YouTube. Like this video if you are watching on YouTube. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on that notification bell and leave a nice comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms and give it a 5-star review. I am your host, Skylar Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you right back here for another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United.